Today, we're gonna be working our turn off-road chase lights, getting them wired up. But before we start that, I got something I've gotta switch. It's been bugging me. So, let's get started. Hey, welcome to the channel. I'm Nick, aka Dad, and first off, if you are not a subscriber, smash that subscribe button, because Monk and I, we're constantly finding tips, tricks, and definitely a lot of products that we use on our Bronco that you can use on yours. And today, we're talking about our turn off-road chase light. We're getting this thing wired up, but before I do, this lens kind of bothers me. I know you've got kind of the spot on here, and then you've got where it kind of diffuses it a little bit out, I'm assuming is how this lens works here. But these two are identical, where I think the one on the passenger side should be really flipped over so it kind of matches this one. Maybe I'm just being a little over analytical or anal about that, but I want to get that switched. So the small screws we'll take out and the big screws. This is a 2.5 millimeter Allen is what that one is, and the bigger button heads are 3 millimeter Allen. So we'll take those off, get the face of this off so we can flip that lens over before we start wiring it up, and then at the end show you what it looks like. Now, one tip I have for you is get one of these little magnetic trays, because we've got a lot of these little screws to take out bolts and you don't want to lose any of them. So get one of these. I just kind of put it right down here onto our AC fab mount here. I can put all the screws in there as I take them out, and I don't have to worry about them getting lost. All right, we got all the bolts out. I actually just took the 4 small ones out because it looked like the lens let loose once I did that. So I'm hoping that's really all that's holding in the lenses is the 4 smaller bolts. Let's see if we can pull this out here. Yep, perfect. And yep, they do. They just hold that in. And maybe our lens covers don't pop off. I thought they might pop off. Well, I don't think they do. So we'll just flip that little dude over like that. Tuck everybody back up and in. Make sure all the wires sticking out there. You know what? Instead of starting the big ones, let's start with the smaller ones so I can make sure that stays right where I want it to. I'll pull it out here a little bit more so everybody can see what I'm doing here. Just putting in the 4 smaller screws that looks like all they do is really just hold in the whole unit. Use our little 2.5 millimeter here. Get these guys tightened back down. I'm not going to get these I'm going to get them snug, and that's about it. I don't really think you need to make those really super tight, just as long as you don't think they're going to fall out, obviously. And then we'll put all this back in there, and then we'll button this up by putting all the big button head screws right back in again. Now we can get on with the install of the wiring. So maybe we'll do them on separate switches so we can make the ambers do, you know, a wig wag or whatever. And then we'll just put this to where it's set on. I've even had people ask me, why don't you just wire that up to the reverse light harness? And the thing is, I've looked at those harnesses because we've replaced the taillights on this with the form lighting LED taillights, and the wiring is not real thick. And I just don't know how much juice you're gonna get out of that because it's a pretty small wire. So that's the one reason, if anybody's watching this that asks that question, that's why. I just don't think you're going to get enough juice to make this really super bright, and that's kind of what I want it to do if we're backing up in the woods or something. Want to be able to see where we're going. This will provide quite a bit more light, so that's why. But I've got, I think I'm using, the wiring I've got right now, I want to say is either 16 or 18 gauge. So not real thick wire, but definitely thicker than what the taillights use. All right, so we've got the panel taken off. We've got everything ready to go. And what we're going to be using to control the amber lights to be flashing is actually this. This is the Show Me. This is the model 11.1005SF. This was actually recommended to me by one of the guys over at Baja Designs. I'd asked about their, S1, S2s, how or what is the best way to actually get a chase light out of them, and they said go to this company, and they actually sent me right to the website for this. So you've got a positive red, right is yellow, left is blue, which I'm calling driver and passenger, ground is black, and then the white line here is actually for mode. Now the mode is actually, you could put a little remote switch for this and be able to change the modes every time it gets a new 12 volts to it. It changes what the lights are going to do. What we're going to do, or what I've already done, is actually just tape this off. We'll leave it on there because we may use it in the future. But I've already started working on this. We had some technical difficulties here with sound, but I've already got the light blue line is going to the driver's side, and then the yellow line is going to our yellow passenger side. And what I've done is they've got screws that come with this. I was going to attach it to the inside here. They've got this plastic piece in here from Ford, but what I think I'm going to do instead is just use some VHB, some double-sided like foam tape for now. I don't know if I'm going to be happy with where I place this or not, but now we've only got really two lines to run. We've got our ground, which is our black, and then our power, which is red. The red, I think I'm going to take that inside the Bronco to the upfitter switch wire that they have here in the back passenger side quarter panel and hook it up to a switch to at least get these lights working. If I decide to then put the center light on a switch, I'll have to run a new line all the way up to the front to the engine bay and then hook it up to a powered switch. So let me get this installed, finish up with our solder sticks here. Absolutely love these things. We'll put a link down below for solder sticks for the Show Me, and let's get this thing going so we can see these lights in action. All right, well, I know it looks like a mess, but I had to go up and get little guy here, so we'll give you a quick rundown. We got everything connected here. Actually, I tied into my ground that I have for the brake light itself, just so I didn't have to run another ground, just tied right into that. And then we've got our power line, and we've already taken it up and through the panel here. I just got this kind of unbolted a little bit, and then you can see it coming out here, which I'll zip tie it probably over here. I need to go back and zip tie it through here somewhere, but we'll take this over, sorry little guy, and right up behind the panel up there, which I wish Ford would have run this a little bit further back. And Ford, if you watch this, why didn't you add more than just one line? A lot of us are running all kinds of different lights in the back of our vehicle, whether it's even something up on the roof, or we're running like a new type of brake light, or just rear lights itself. I mean, it would have been nice for another upfitter switch wire back here. Maybe on the driver's side would be nice. Maybe a couple on the passenger side would have been nice, but we'll get this tied into that one. We'll show you where it's at here in just a sec. All right, and there's the wire we're looking for our upfitter switches. It is an orange and white wire. Even has the little black tip on it here, showing that it is a connection. So this, I believe, if I remember right, goes up behind your glove box, and then there's a couple wires back there, and you connect them to one of the wires that goes to underneath the hood then to then plug into a powered wire. So we'll connect our power wire to this, and then we'll have to go up front and then connect a couple wires to an auxiliary switch. All right, so power is now connected to our upfitter switch, or the wires that they have going through the Bronco. Again, Ford, why don't you make these a little bit longer and get it back to the tailgate maybe on both sides. But yeah, there's not a lot of extra wires sitting out of that loom, so just be mindful of that. All right, my little rant there I had with extra wiring. I did notice that there is more orange-white wire down here. It's just kind of taped to this loom right here, so you could actually cut that to give yourself a little extra. But still, it ends right behind the the passenger side passenger, so in our four-door. So still would have been nice for Ford to take it back, another couple feet, but hey, I guess you got to save money. All right, so now we're in the glove box area, and here is an orange with gray wire, and it's kind of connected to the orange, big old orange wire here. And then we got 2 more wires over here. See if I can get in there. This is just an all white one. And then there's one below it here, see if we can grab him. And I believe this one's like a brown and white. Now these 2 are gonna go underneath your dash under the hood, so you can connect these to an actual circuit that has power to it. So this is one way Ford's doing this. I wish they'd put more under here because you've got so many wires you can pull down. You know, you've got one that you're gonna have from up here behind your visor that goes for if you wanted to put in roof lights on here, that comes down the pillar. And then we'll also come back here. So just some different things I wish they'd do just to make it a little bit easier on us to get more lights and things on our vehicles. But let me get these connected here and then we'll get underneath the hood, get everything powered up. Okay, the elusive orange and white wire, because there's this gray and orange here. Well, that's not what I'm looking for. I was looking for an orange and white, and Ford's got it tucked way back in here, and they actually had some cloth tape, so it made it look like it was part of another loom. But no, there's our free orange and white from the back, which we will now connect to brown and white, which will take it under the hood. All right, they are soldered together. Our solder sticks are working here. We use the blue one, which is good for like, I think 16 gauge and a little bit less. But you have to be almost a gymnast to get back in there. I had to bend over to get to it, bend backwards and that. So just remember, man, it is tight in there. Just another comment, Ford, make the wires a little bit longer. It'd be so much easier for us and easy to find, please. All right, so under the hood here, we've got, hopefully my hand doesn't get in the way, we got this brown and white wire here, which was what was under our dash. And we're gonna put this to auxiliary switch 6, which is this guy here, this brown with, I believe it's an orange stripe here. So we'll get these guys connected and should have power to the rear chase lights. There they are. I didn't burn the Bronco down. All the wires are still intact and we put it together correctly. So there is our chase lights from Turn Off Road now completed. We've got it. Now we just need to do that center light, which my buddy James and I were talking about it. I'm not quite sure how I want to do this because they only give you 1 wire that comes to the back. So let me give you some final thoughts on wiring this up and some things Ford could do better on the next versions. Well, that is how you can hook up your Turn Off Road chase lights using that Show Me device that basically just turns them into having the wig-wag mode or whatever you want to call it. Makes it easy. Ford really did it right with having the wiring in it. I just have a few things that I would ask Ford to do. Make all those wires longer. The ones under the hood, I think you have maybe 4 to 5 inches without having to cut a bunch of tape to get out more. Just make longer lengths, Ford. I mean, especially under the hood. I mean, to make those connections from a powered circuit to a non-powered circuit, if you would make those each maybe 12 inches long, and then you can wrap them up and just put some tape around them until someone uses them. You still get your terminations already on them. Just make them longer. Make everything just about at least 6 inches longer would be fantastic, Ford, because it's really hard to get around, especially this one that was in the back fender well to hook up the lights. That should have come all the way to the back tailgate to me. I mean, to terminate it up behind the rear passenger seat, you just got more wiring you have to do. So Ford, bring them back further. Hopefully you found this informative on how to hook up any kind of accessory using that orange and white wire that comes to the rear passenger quarter panel and how to connect it all the way up to a powered circuit, i.e. your auxiliary switches. So don't forget to smash that subscribe button because Monk and I, we're always finding tips, tricks, and definitely a lot of products that we're putting on our Bronco that you can put on yours. But as always, thanks for watching. Have a blessed day. Bye.